Bonjour, my darlings. Happy Saturday. Good morning, my darlings. How are you? I got my cup of coffee, but it's almost time for cup two. Alrighty, y'all. Yes, I owe y'all a podcast episode. Honestly, I was just enjoying yesterday, watching it all happen. I was like, oh. Okay, so, and we're going to talk about Newsom in a second. We're going to talk about this because this is crazy to watch. But what was even crazier to watch was that dog walk of a summit. When that thing ended and my feed just, breaking news, there was no deal. Breaking news, there was no deal. Breaking news, there was no deal. I'm like, because it wasn't for the deal. We already talked about this, darling. We went down that rabbit hole. That was not a summit meeting. Okay, that was Stinky Pants getting on his knees for daddy. Because daddy's got some photos and videos. Okay, you can't convince me that's not it. Listen, that dude went and did a full submissive. I'm telling you, these red dudes, that's all they are, is submissives. That's why they're so hooked on everyone else needs to obey us, because they are natural beta submissives themselves who just want people to bow to them automatically because they got a dangling, because they have no actual, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, this dude, okay, meets him in Alaska, has the American military rolling out a literal red carpet after they berated Zelensky, okay, put him in that room full of people wearing diapers and catheters and insulted him for wearing his wartime uniform. And, you know, there was 20 of them ganged up on him. You can't afford a suit. Then Putin, he had the army on their knees rolling out red carpet. Okay, he comes out of his plane and you notice they had to put watch your step all over the steps so that he can see where they are because he keeps tripping on the steps. He makes his way slowly down. He came out the plane first. That's a sign of submission for these sorts of meetings, right? He couldn't walk a straight line on the carpet. He's doot, 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 doot. And then here comes the Brad Putin-esque. And he comes out of his plane second, which is, you know, a thing. And here comes the, he's just, he's beautiful. This is the happiest day of my life. Look at it. We're getting married, you guys. Okay. I mean, he's just clapping and cheering and doing his little tiny fist pump. And they hug and they get in the limo for 2 seconds and drive around the block and come back. And there was no deal and the luncheon is canceled. Yeah, because he went and got on his knees real quick. Please don't release it. Please don't release it. That's all it was. And we paid for it. We paid to watch that man go beg his boyfriend not to leak what he has. Okay, that's all it was. On our dime, just like Mr. Vance in his pants, who's been vacationing 7 out of 8 months and no one's saying anything because he's one of these and a dude. So it's totally fine that all he does is vacation and not work, because that's the culture. Pretending. Okay, that's it. And then lying. They're losing in DC. You saw Blondie. Well, I'm replacing the commissioner. In the beginning, Friday morning, she was replacing the commissioner. By Friday night, they had a liaison between the commissioner and the regime so they can feel, so they made another position to waste money so they can feel better. Again, that's their culture and that's all they do. Make problems and then pat themselves on the back for wasting money on the problems that they made. But darling, we are watching Newsom launch himself into being the next president. We're watching it. And no matter how you feel about him, like I said, I'm a Californian. So yes, I know he's our California Patrick Bateman. We have our own love-hate relationship, but he's the only one who said, we're getting in the dirt. We're getting in the dirt with these people. We're over here trying to have a high-level debate with people who need to take their shoes off to count. So no, like I said, I'm in Temecula. I'm in a spot where we got a lot of Bianco supporters who think 6 million out of 40 million is a majority, because again, they can't count with their shoes on. All right, so they're running around going, 6 million of us are in California, we're taking it back. 6 million out of 40, bitch. Yeah. Math is not your strong suit. You guys should probably stop trying to be on school boards. Go do your Bible math at home. Okay, so anyway, we're watching this dude. I mean, from the memes, he did the little king meme, he's doing the little buff worker meme, and what's really clinching it for this guy is that, yeah, he's a good looking man. And for the conservatives, that's a problem, because that's their whole thing is looks. We are hot. Our women are hot. Our men are hot. We're also, and of course, it's all surgical and girdles and lifted shoes. Like, none of it's actually natural for the people who love screaming, our natural this and our natural that. They're the least natural people on the planet. They're trying to steal everyone else's ethnic features while keeping recessive bottle blonde hair at the same time to go, we're hot, with their Mar-a-Lago face, okay? All of them looking like cookie cutter copy. And then you have Newsom, who's actually a good-looking man, who's actually 6'3", who's actually looking pretty good, and then who's getting on their level, and it's showing them how stupid they are with his all caps, with his "thank you for your attention to this matter," signing his name or his initials every single time, to the point where they are crashing out and then projecting to crash it onto us. Dems are crashing out. Did you see what Newsom's doing? He's crashing out. No, darling, that's not a crash out. That's called clapback. I know you're confused. Vocabulary is also not one of your strong suits. That's not a crash out. That's a clapback. What you're doing right now, you're crashing out because you see that the light at the end of the tunnel is getting closer, ain't it? It's getting closer, ain't it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Dawn. You better get out of the way before the train hits you, because it's a coming. Choo-choo! Get on.